Life is complex. Our physical structures and the material world, they are made out of 5 elements, which were the original elements responsible for creating the universe. Each element is a part of total consciousness, a product of the total consciousness. Like a single painting of Picasso. Picasso is bigger than his painting. Consciousness, which created the elements, is bigger than the element itself. Elements are finite. They have shape, size, dimensions, and they created the time and the space. So with all these elements combined, the material world came into existence. If the elements are finite in nature, every product of it will gonna be finite. Since it is finite, it cannot take us to infinite. Finite can only give you a finite experience. Every experience that you will have its limitations. Just like all the finite objects go through 4 stages of birth, growth, decay, and death. All the experiences that we have through them also gonna go through the same stages of birth, growth, decay, and death. All the relationships, all the experiences will have a character of finiteness. So, we do want to be happy. More than happy, we want to be satisfied. Satisfaction cannot come from the finite experiences, because as soon as the satisfaction comes, it is followed by dissatisfaction. Satisfaction of owning a new car lasts for a short time. Then restlessness starts for the next model or a next goal, next objective. The race will never be over. Every experience that we will have will predominantly satisfy one of the senses. If you like something visually, you will enjoy it. But the other 4 senses that we have, which correspond to the 5 elements of the nature, will ask for their share also. If you like a beautiful girl and marry her, you will always have discomfort at other senses level. She will never be a perfect person that will be able to satisfy all your 5 senses. There will be something that you will have to compromise at some point. And that's how it's always gonna be. All the 5 senses feed to the mind, and mind has been created over the period of multiple lives with our experiences in the material world. And the mind is very powerful. but it has a tough job to keep all the five senses satisfied. But the field of operation, the sansar, with its finite nature, is not able to do. All five senses cannot be satisfied at one time. So mind tries and tries and tries. Mind itself is a product of repeated experiences, repeated exposures to the finite world. Mind has tremendous energy. The only thing it needs to do is to change the direction. It has one more sense, which is beyond the five senses, and it's called Anthakaran. It is an inside sense of the mind to reverse its direction and look to the consciousness, which is complete because it is the origin of all the five senses and five elements. Inside, there is only one, the indivisible consciousness. So for that, mind needs only one sense, and that is called Anthakaran. It's an inner eye. Since there is only one inner sense that needs to be satisfied, it's so much easier. Two, you don't have to worry about or depend on the outside world where things are finite, keep changing all the time, beyond your predictions, beyond your control. The Anthakaran has to deal with something that is universal. There are no fights, there is no competition, there is no finiteness. Everything is infinite. And with that infinite consciousness, there are no divisions. It's like an ocean. One drop of the ocean has the same constitution as the whole ocean. Same way, Jivatma that we feel within us has the same constitution as Paramatma, because Paramatma is infinite. In this infinite structure, you go within. The same energy of the mind that you were wasting on the five senses, now you apply only to one sense, a sense to perceive your Atma. Once the mind is turned inside in a reverse direction, there is nothing else left inside except the consciousness. Go within, perceive this consciousness, enjoy this consciousness, which is indivisible, infinite, omnipotent, omnipresent, and enjoy the total bliss, because there was only one sense that needed to be satisfied. And now you have a whole ocean in front of you. At that point, you lose your identity, because identity was stored at the mind level. But now mind has decided to go beyond itself. So your ego, your identity, stays behind. And you receive the new identity of infinite ocean. It's not like a droplet has entered the ocean. It's rather ocean has come inside the tiny droplet. With that ocean coming into you, you have a bigger company available of the infinite consciousness. And you enjoy the bliss. Have a good day.